Hey everybody, once again we back with another episode of Booze and Reviews. It's your man Mugu, your boy T Roy, and over here is your man's Critique.
Watch your mouth.
And we're here with another review for a movie called Sleepers. Some of you may have seen it, some of y'all may have not. But we're going to go in on this one because it was just that good of a movie. And I think collectively all three of us like this movie. But we definitely going to go in on it. It's a little older movie, so we're going to talk about it. We're not going to worry about spoiling anything. Because I think the more we talk about it, you probably going to want to see it anyway.
Yeah.
Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. Give us suggestions for your movies or ideas of movies that you may want to see us review.
Yeah, bro.
So this is my man's T Roy's pick, and I'm going to let him start it off.
So yeah, this is Sleepers. Came out in 1996, directed by Barry Levinson. It's starring Kevin Bacon, Robert De Niro, Brad Pitt, Jason Patrick, Dustin Hoffman, and yeah, this is a real good movie.
All-star cast.
Yeah, all-star cast of great actors. It's telling a great story about 4 kids in New York in 1967, Hell's Kitchen, New York. They make like this fatal mistake of pulling this prank that just forever changed their lives, and they end up going to a juvenile home for boys. It's called the Wilkinson Home for Boys. And he just kind of messed their lives up. And at the end of the day, they try and come up with a way to make right at what happened while they spent time here. So I'm going to turn it over to these two, and then I'm going to come back around and give a whole kind of a lay down of the movie.
All right, I'm going to take this one first. I've been knowing T. Roy for like 20 years. We've had like whole conversations, real conversations, pretty much just using movie quotes.
Come on, bro.
Starting off from a 20-year friendship. We have evolved in many ways as men, as moviegoers, as just black men. But this probably be the first time that I'm pretty much giving him a fresh fuck you. I usually keep like fuck yous in the pocket for like people who like need them real quick, and I'm on the go. Like I might be on the work. I might be going to the gas station, man, getting a candy bar or something, and I'll pull out a fuck you to somebody. But I made this fresh fuck you just for Troy because he knew what he was doing. And what he was doing was delving into a realm to pull at our heartstrings. And we from Detroit, like our heartstrings are very, very long.
Yeah.
But this year, like he said, the all-star cast, man, these guys were sent to a reform school. And there they were abused, raped, mentally, physically, all fucked over.
Yeah.
And like you said, Brad Pitt is in this movie. Dustin Hoffman and Robert De Niro. Dustin Hoffman was a very brilliant actor in this. He plays a drunk, drug-addicted lawyer who goes along with a script that Brad Pitt devised. He became a district attorney to get back at these corrections officers.
Yeah.
I'll explain later more about the movie, but this movie was such a brilliant masterpiece that, no pun intended, it was a sleeper that should be in most of everybody's top 10. I don't know how you're gonna fit it in there because there are a lot of good movies.
Yeah.
The screenplay was written beautifully. It was masterfully done. The concept of how it unfolded, how everything unfolded, like the revenge game, unfolded so well. Not that it worked, just for the simple fact that how it was conceived. I can't say enough about this movie. It was not just carried by beautiful actors, magnificent actors. It was carried by directing, the producing. It was carried by nonverbal communications. It was carried by everything. I could always bring out, it's probably only like 6 movies that I can bring out that I can't find anything wrong with. This is one of, well, I'll say 7 now. This is one of them. I seen this movie a long time ago and I slept on it.
Boy.
I slept on it. I might have been young, but I still would call myself a moviegoer, a movie connoisseur. I see now that I wasn't in 1996. This movie is so deep on so many levels. I'm gonna let my counterpart speak, and yes, we're gonna do some more about this. I'm gonna dissect this some more, but
yeah, man. Again, the heartstrings, the emotional, is gonna pull at you emotionally when you watch this movie, because you're gonna see the 4 boys, and you're gonna watch them grow up, and you're gonna see each stage of them growing up, and what happens to them is what shapes the rest of what happens to them in the rest of their life. I mean, when they go to this boys' home, and they go to the boys' home based off of a trick that they try to play on a hot dog vendor. They're on the street. The hot dog vendor is trying to sell hot dogs. So a way for them to get free hot dogs is they have one of the boys come up and keep them busy. He takes the hot dog, he runs off. Now, the hot dog vendor has 2 choices: to chase the guy or stay and protect his cart. He chose to chase the young boy. Once he chases him, the friends come over and they start making their own hot dogs. Now, that was supposed to be the end of it. But at the end, they start thinking, hey, can we move this thing? And so they wind up moving it. And the first thought was only to move it enough to where he couldn't come back and get it.
take the whole cart.
That was it. Just move it. And so he couldn't come right to hide it. So he couldn't figure it out. But then they say, oh, we're going to go a little further. It took too long with the chasing.
Right.
So now he comes back to the cart. The boy who rails off comes back to the cart. They're like, hey, what happened to you? He's like, oh, I lost him. So they start to push this cart toward the subway. So now, in the subway in New York, you got to go downstairs, right, and then you can get onto the subway. Right. Well, they get this cart to the stairs, and they say, all right, well, we're going to hold it on the end. So once he catches up with us, he's got to catch the cart. We're going to run off as soon as he gets his cart. Mm-hmm. It doesn't happen like that. And the cart actually, they wound up not having enough strength to hold it up there. The cart goes down the stairs and kills a man. And from that point, their lives are forever changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's forever changed. They meet these correctional facility officers who take advantage of them, and not only all types of abuse, not only verbally, but physically, emotionally. They take almost everything away from these boys, to the point where the boys are telling their families not to come and see them. So with stuff like that, that was what really got to me. The one person who cared about him, or not the one person, but another person who cared about him, who plays the father, which is Robert De Niro. He winds up going to see them.
Priest.
Yeah, the priest. Yeah, he's one of the priests in the church that they're altar boys at. He winds up going to see them, and one of them, and he winds up talking to one of them. And he's like, hey, is everything okay? And some of it starts to come out at that point. The fact that they were able to come out of this situation, and most of them, well, 2 of them became murderous gang members. One of them became the assistant DA,
Mm-hmm.
and then one of them this,
He's a writer for the newspaper.
yeah. So he becomes a writer,
Mm-hmm.
and from that point, they can't really hold relationships like that. Any of them can't hold relationships like that.
Let me interject one thing.
Yeah.
Along with what Mugu said, none of them can hold good social or intimate relationships due to what has happened. Somehow, the way the screenplay was written, the director's shots, what he gets, within 2 hours, it's hard to make a movie 2 hours long and show so much. Actually, let me rephrase. It's hard to make a movie 2 hours long and in reality to show so little that real moviegoers fall in love with the characters so quick.
Yeah.
That says a lot about the acting, about what's said, what was written, how it was portrayed, how like the scenes are portrayed to, like, we 3 cats from Detroit. We fell for these guys. You know what I'm saying? We've seen everything, and it's so hard to fit that into a 2-hour movie.
Yeah. It seemed like it would need to be longer than that.
Yeah, it had to be like a Platoon type deal.
Yeah.
But that was the excellence of the movie. Like,
And the acting.
before you even know it, you are enthralled in these guys. You are rooting for them.
Yeah.
You are hoping this works out.
Yeah.
That's hard to do in 2 hours. Hell, shit. I was like that 45 minutes into it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. But yeah. I just wanted to interject that. You can go ahead.
And that's fine. Man, because this is one of them type of movies. Normally, we don't want to give out the spoiler of the movie, but by this movie being, made so long ago, want to bring more a little bit reference to the movie because we want y'all definitely to go see it. Because it's definitely, this is something that you can, if you got a DVD
You
or
have to see.
Blu-ray, or you can stream it. This is one of them. This is one of those movies you definitely want to watch, and you will definitely not regret watching it.
You have to see it. Guaranteed, you will move this movie up into your top 10 or 15.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah. I think overall, when I see this movie, it's like, we bring it into real life terms. And this is when we talk about art imitating life. Mm-hmm. Because this is one of those situations where art is imitating life. They're telling a story. Although at the end, there are disclaimers ran to say that there was never a story like this. Stuff like this did not happen at this particular time. But I think what we've seen throughout time, that we know something like this exists. And or these situations are existing. Maybe even some of us know someone who has lived through a situation like this. And it's just, my hat's off to anybody who could come out of a situation like this and make something of themselves and be able to get some type of a closure like they got. And that's my take on it.
So I'm gonna give it a full cup off top. This was the movie I picked, and just to kind of go through with everything that happened. You got the 4 friends. You got Lorenzo Shakes. He actually is the author of the book that the movie is based on, and the movie was called Sleepers, and the book was called Sleepers as well. So he's telling the story about what him and his 3 other friends went through in New York, Hell's Kitchen in 1967. So pretty much, what we just kind of went through. They pulled this prank, and it's with a hot dog vendor. Them trying to push the was the pushing the cart toward the stairs.
Yeah.
And it went wrong, and they ended up injuring. I don't think they killed the guy,
No,
but I think they injured him real bad. So, he's pretty much narrating the whole movie. He was sentenced to like less time than his friends was because he appeared to the scene later because he was running actually.
Yeah, he was the one that took the hot dog.
Yeah.
And ran.
So and once they get to the juvenile home for boys, they, like we said, they was abused sexually, verbally, physically, so they spent I think maybe a year.
A year. Shake spent a year. Everybody else did 18 months.
Yeah.
And then you have the two younger friends. They grew up later to become gang members.
Ooh.
Started their own gang. They actually run into the character Sean Noakes, who's played by Kevin Bacon.
Man.
He was, this like his role was it was like a memorable villainous role for me.
Yeah.
Once he played the role kind of crazy. Once you see him in the flashbacks when they kids, he's like terrorizing these kids in all kind of ways that it's kind of hard to look at. But it was a memorable role for Kevin Bacon. But once they approach him, they meet him in a restaurant once they grown, and then once they confront him, he kind of brushed them off, and they kill him right there in the restaurant for what he did to all of them when they was younger. So the two older friends, who was Shakes and I believe Michael, who's played by Brad Pitt, they decide to concoct a plan to free their friends from killing Kevin Bacon's character, and also to incriminate the other guards that abused them when I was at the juvenile home.
Right.
So, they go through, getting help from a lot of people in their neighborhood. There was a local mafia boss named King Benny that helped them. Robert De Niro's character, who plays the priest, he also helped them. A lot of other people in the neighborhood helped them to put together a plan to get everything in motion, and it just kind of goes from there. But off top, I'm gonna give this movie a full cup. I really enjoyed this movie. The performances were good, and that's where I'm at with it.
I ain't get my measurable cup. This is a pint. I'm gonna give this movie a 5th.
Yeah.
This movie like is the quintessential example of Mugo, I think you said it, art imitating life.
Yes.
This is nothing that was this was not a far-fetched theme, a far-fetched plot. It really is not, and I cannot speak enough about how it was written, how the shots were taken, the direction, to where in 2 hours, you are ran through so many emotions. You feel so completed. You feel that everything was left on the table. That's not even getting to the acting. Once again, another big fresh fuck you to Troy, because honestly, I'm supposed to have fun with this movie, but I cannot sit back and make fun of a young Brad Pitt getting raped. I just can't. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. He knew exactly what he was doing. It's a good movie, It's more than a good movie. It's a great one. Like I said, watch this movie, and I bet you move it up to your top 15, maybe your top 10.
Yeah, check this one out.
Yeah, this.
And I'm gonna pull this one point out of the movie. It's like it got so bad to the point where they had a football game between the COs and the boys in the home. And what would happen is that the COs will win every time, meaning the correctional officers. They're older men, so they would beat these boys at football. So in order for them to have some type of crumb of happiness or joy, they had to say, you know what? We know what might happen to us after this, but we got to win this game. And they won that one game. Now, they went to one of their boys' home partners. It was a young black boy. Now, understanding, Rizzo. So now, in this particular case, this community that they're coming from is already a multicultural community. We're talking we're talking about Irish, Puerto Rican, and Italian,
Black
and black. So we're talking about this is a very diverse community. So this young man, they go to him because they say, hey, look, they messing with us, but they not messing with us like they don't mess with you like that.
Right.
We need your help. And so he helps them win this football game that means way more than a football game. It was a ounce of joy that they pulled out of this whole existence at this boys' home. And when they won that game, they were like, oh man, they were so high. They were on a level so high. But the consequences that came behind that were just...
And let me tell y'all about the consequences. This is pretty much the only joke I can make about the movie. The movie is great, but this is the only joke I can make. That football game, and the person that they recruited was a black dude. You've seen him in many movies. I don't know his name. But later on in life, we didn't even talk about King Benny. That's another thing. I want to say, nothing in this movie is far-fetched like, oh man, that shit would never happen.
Right. You can't say
Where
that.
they were in Hell's Kitchen, there's always a mob guy that take care of the neighborhood. But anyway, the brother of the black dude who died, I do not know his name. I do not know how much he weighed. I don't know. I do not know where he is from. But I know one thing. He has one of the most classic lines in any movie whatsoever. He's the dude in Waiting to Exhale who, after he got finished having sex with Sunshine, he laid back and was like, you remember? And whoever that dude is, I've loved him since that.
He's in The Wire, and I believe he's from New Orleans. And I can't think.
What was his name in The Wire? That's probably what people know.
He plays Bunk.
Bunk, yeah, it's Bunk from The Wire. And that, when he came out to be Rizzo's brother, and he was pretty much the dude in charge of the underworld as far as the blacks in the same neighborhood.
He was Kingpin.
Yeah, he was a kingpin. And I was like, oh shit, I forgot he was in there.
Yeah.
Even though he was saying some hard lines, and that scene with him and King Benny was awesome, it was still playing in the back of my mind that he just fucked Sunshine. And he was like, shh. Boom. But yeah, man. I give it a 5th.
Wow.
I give this movie a 5th. There is nothing. Usually, movie connoisseurs, and we from Detroit. We hard on movies. If you've watched any of our videos, we always varying in opinions pretty much. Like, 2 of us might like the movie, or all 3 of us might like the movie, but we like different parts.
Man.
It's very rare that I can't say one thing that I did not like about the movie. I'll pull out something that I didn't like just to inform you. And I'll still tell you to go see it. I'll still give it a full cut. But this movie was definitely a sleeper.
No pun intended.
Yeah, no pun intended. Troy definitely gets a great big fuck you. Like, come on. Young Brad Pitt.
Picked a great movie.
Nah, he did. Dog. He made us watch Young Brad Pitt again. Get done.
Yeah. So we definitely recommend this movie. Y'all gotta try it out. It's on HBO Max. Catch it while it's there. If not, share it. Get it. Let somebody use your. Use somebody's account.
Password.
Yeah, it's definitely on HBO Max. Like, it'll be there for a while.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
it
sure.
should be.
But it's definitely worth your while to watch, man.
You also want to watch it because of Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah.
Dustin Hoffman plays a brilliant, a dumbfounded, drunk and drug abuser lawyer. But he's in the scheme of Brad Pitt's character, Michael. He's in the plan. But something, I can't put my finger on it, but he plays it so good. Even though it's pre-written, all his questions are pre-written.
Yeah,
His
they
response.
They gave him an idea. They told him what questions to ask. So it would incriminate the other guards that was abusing them. So the whole plan was set up to make their other friends look innocent and acquit them of everything, but at the same time incriminate the guards that was abusing them at the home.
Get them off.
Yeah,
Y'all
get them
got
off,
that?
get their boys off the hook.
Y'all got that?
Yeah,
Boy, get them off for the murder.
yeah,
This was in 1996.
yeah.
1996. This movie could come out tomorrow and be up for an Academy Award.
I
can
believe
tell
so. Yeah, I believe
you.
so.
It definitely
Yes,
would.
yes.
I would definitely say go see this.
Based on all the movies that are made right now, if this came out right now,
Yeah.
it would be at the top. It would be right there with the top. It would be right there with the top.
Yeah, I'm surprised it didn't do a lot better. It was considered a hit back then, kind of a box office hit, but I think it should have been considered a lot higher than what it was.
I think another reason why it may not have gone as far as it did is because of what the content they're dealing with and what they're talking about.
Yeah, like child abuse.
Yes,
child abuse.
yes, and I
it's
think
tough.
and I think and it's tough, but I think just the simple fact of them talking about it and exposing some people in the area, whether it be in New York or wherever wherever he made it up to be, it was like wow, we start looking into that.
Well, the
Yeah,
writer
don't forget.
Lorenzo that played the he narrates the movie and wrote the book to the movie. He was accused of fabricating a lot of the shit that happened. He claimed, I think he claimed that everything did happen, but if you watch at the end of the movie, they claim that none of that stuff. There was no record of all of them staying at their home.
Yeah.
Certain entities said that, like, what was one of them? Like the
Was
state,
the New York Department of Corrections.
Department of Corrections, the home. Was it the reform school that they put up a disclaimer with? Yeah, so even if, but we all know in every lie is a little bit of truth.
Oh boy.
If it was a lie, any little bit of truth it was still fucked up.
Exactly.
And they picked the right actors to bring that across.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree.
like I'm 6'5", 209 pounds. I'm going to go on record and saying this one time. When you watch this movie, get a box of tissues.
You gonna feel something.
My wife thinks that I cried, but it was dust in the room. It was dust in the room. I got allergies. Man, this shit. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I wipe my eyes, but I think that is a testimony to a good movie.
Yes.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody from Omaha, Nebraska was watching that and they teared up, we'd be like, okay, you saw it. Nigga, I'm from Detroit. Hey, I done seen it all. I done heard it all. It's been a lot, but I'm not scared to touch into my emotional side. And a big fuck you to Troy, because he knew what he was doing. He knew I was going to be honest. It was a movie. And I still kind of like, my allergies like really acted up. But yeah, go watch this movie, man.
Yeah.
And please,
out.
feedback. Tell us what you say. Or tell us what you think. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Hit us
because
up in the comments.
man, because we definitely need to hear that.
I really
Because
do. I really want to hear what y'all
It's
got to
three
say.
of us, and we're gonna have three different takes on the movie. But now, when you add your spiel into it as well, that brings out the movie even more. And then maybe we have a longer discuss. Maybe we can have another discussion about this movie, depending on how everybody felt about this. But Sleepers was definitely that. 1996, what was I doing? A year out of high school?
I'm older than you?
Yeah. I was a year out of high school.
Okay. I thought you was older than me.
Damn, I was just starting high
96,
school.
I was a year out of high school.
Oh. I ain't gonna. Damn. I was down in Florida, man, dancing with Luke, man, yeah. 2 Live Crew.
Big booty hoes, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
shit, 69 boy.
Yep. But see, 96, I'm a year out of high school, and this movie comes out. Never saw it.
Yeah.
Because I know this went to the box office. I know it went to the box office.
Of course, with the actors in
So
it.
what other movie was out at this time that probably took you away from that? It was probably something that was more entertaining. It was probably something that was way more entertaining.
I can't remember 96.
But this was entertaining to watch the actors versus what the storyline was.
Shit was not entertaining. Shit was heartbreaking.
Yeah, it was.
The shit was heartbreaking.
And just us knowing,
I had no business watching this.
and just with us knowing people who may have made one mistake in their life, and this was the difference that changed them. And this could have been the same thing for all of them, which it was for all of them. It was, but the two that just turned into gang members, ran the gang.
I made one mistake in my life that changed my life. I fucked around and filled out an application to a place that Troy was already working at. Next thing you know, here we are 20-something odd years later, and the nigga made me cry. I'm sorry, my bad. Nigga made my allergies act up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, yeah, and she's supposed to be my boy. Yeah, so, yeah, but the aspect of young kids, man, making one decision. And the thing, it's so believable.
Man.
It's so believable. Every move, even though I've never known a tight-knit Italian community, white community, as in a Bronx Tale. Sleepers.
Right.
Good. I'm sorry, not Goodfellas. Godfathers.
Okay.
Little Italy, like shit. Even Spanish Harlem. You've seen so many movies, even though you're not there personally. You've seen so many movies, and they all tell the same story in that aspect that everybody's close knit. You look out for one another. Crimes against each other is forbidden. Exactly. Anybody that comes in your neighborhood fucks with you. If the young boys on the corner can't handle it, then you go a step further. And if they can't handle it, you go to who protects the neighborhood.
Exactly.
So you are like inclined to believe it because you've seen so many movies like that by good directors, by producers and directors that research the movie. So you feel like, okay, shit, I done been there. Even though you've never been to no shit like that.
Right.
You've seen so many movies by people that you respect. That's how it is. That didn't surprise me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That didn't surprise me. What surprised me was how quick I fell in love with the characters. How quick I rooted for the
I'm
characters.
invested in them. Yeah.
Yeah, like...
Cause they was good kids at the end of the day. They wasn't,
Yeah.
you know, they wasn't on no bullshit. They
Regular
was just
stuff.
regular, you know, getting their usual mischief.
It was believable.
Yes.
It was believable. As complex as the whole scene was, it was believable. And that's what... And we've never been in no shit like Little Italy. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, we'll go to Hamtramck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hamtramck is
That's our New York. That's our Hell's
yeah, like that's our Hell's Kitchen. We'll run through there, but we ain't never stop. You know, we'll stop and get something to eat, but like that shit is believable. Like all you gotta do is equate that to like Boys in the Hood.
Yeah.
Four of them guys just getting in the mission. Them guys wasn't bad guys. It was just, you know, the product of your environment, and that's what was so brilliant about this movie.
Yeah.
They definitely pulled the multiculturalism out.
Yeah, dog. You pulled one
They
out your
definitely
ass,
pulled that
Troy.
out.
You pulled one out your ass.
But and so since Critique gives it a 5th. He gives it a 5th. Now, no movie at this point has gotten a 5th. No movie at this point
That's a lot.
has gotten a 5th. We stayed within the cup range. But, again, I definitely, man, I mean, I got to concur. I mean, you got to give it a little bit more. You got to give it a 5th. You got to give it a 5th just based off of the acting, based off of the how everything played out in the movie, and you wanting them to and rooting for them and wanting them to win. That, man, you're gonna pull that off. So I give it a 5th myself.
Within 2 hours.
I'll follow up with that. Where you at, T-Roy?
Within 2 hours.
Shit, I want to give it a great review too. I don't think my full cup was enough. I'm gonna have to give it a 5th too.
Cup runneth over.
Yeah, I mean, this was a great movie. Like this was, it ain't a lot that I can't find nothing really.
No, I can't find nothing wrong. And the thing
Great
about
actors.
it, what makes it even extra is that the movie is called The Sleeper, and it was a sleeper in real life.
Yeah.
Come on now. Come
And-
on,
and
Barry Levinson.
I think the term sleepers refers to
let's give him that. Yeah.
kids that are doing long terms in juvenile or something. I forgot.
really?
Yeah.
I think
that's the slang term
Yeah,
for
yeah, it was.
sleepers.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I look at it and see when you say that, I look at that as another way. I look at it as they made them think like they were going to get away with it. So they fell asleep on them boys. And then they wound up becoming something and then coming back. And you fell asleep on them because, oh man, there was just some more boys that we abused or whatever in the system. And nothing's going to ever come of it. And it winds up happening.
Yeah, don't forget, Kevin Bacon was one of the the main correction officer that was
he was horrible.
putting these guys. Yeah, he was horrible, but he was good.
Yeah.
He was
good
Kevin
horrible.
Bacon.
He was gorable.
Yeah, Gorble, nice one.
Wow,
Yeah,
good word
it
for y'all.
Gorable.
Yeah, I can't find nothing wrong with this movie. I want to because it was about dudes fucking boys.
Exactly.
I wanted
That's
to.
always
That was the
bad.
worst.
They fucked up by putting these good actors in it.
But I like that the Shakes, he found inspiration in that book, The Count of Monte
The
Cristo.
Count of Monte Cristo.
And that was his inspiration for like his get back for waiting for the right time to strike back at the oppressors. So, and he did what he did. So.
Because then they asked him when he was leaving the class. Because again, through all of this, the bad stuff, you're going to have bright spots.
Yep.
And one of his bright spots was the teacher that was teaching the class.
And the black guard that was
And
looking
the
out
black
for
guy.
him.
Yep.
Mind you, and that's also the black dude from Menace to Society that tried Samuel Jackson before he shot his ass.
Same
What,
guy.
the one that said, "Who the fuck you think you is?
Yeah, you mother think he mulling around
on
here?
or something?"
Fuck you, Ted. Him. Yeah, it was him.
Yeah, it was him.
Hold on.
He was the
That was a cameo appearance.
He came in and told him,
Oh yeah.
He got
because he
it.
was
Kevin
making him
Bacon.
eat the food off the
Yep.
floor.
Right. He was like eating into my shit.
into my
okay. Damn, I know.
But he saw that he was doing them wrong. He saw he was doing the kids wrong.
Yeah.
He had him get up off the floor.
Yep, get up.
So yeah, watch this
That's
movie,
right.
y'all. Watch it. Yeah,
Definitely go watch this. You
for
gonna
multiple
enjoy it.
reasons.
Man,
You
it's too
enjoy
many
it.
reasons. But yeah, he pulled one out his ass. Y'all throw your cups up.
Yep.
One time,
One
man,
more
for
time.
sleepers.
Yep.
Go
Rules
see
and
it.
reviews, baby. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for being with us for another one.